Notice what else stands out as you look around and you're taking in the beauty of this gift. Is there anything else that stands out?
For some odd reason, Smurfette keeps standing out. And I know this sounds silly, but literally, if you know anything about the Smurfs, yes, it's a bunch of men and very patriarchal society, but some odd reason Smurfette is there, which is always, I don't know her origin story, but it's like the men are tiny and it's a bunch of them. But Smurfette just really consumes my whole like mindset, my whole like, what's the word? Canvas of what I'm visualizing. And she shows up really large,
Mhm.
she's just like, there's just one of her, but she's taking up the space of quite a few of the male type of Smurfs. And she's just plastered right there. Like, yep, you can't avoid me. Mm-mm. Nope, I'm here to stay. Yes. Come on over here. Yeah. And she's not doing anything other than just popping up in this large canvas stationery. And it's just with a smile and her long lashes. And she's looking fabulous while these male Smurfs are just moving around like ants in a way. They're happy go lucky. Like I said, songs are playing, but you can't help but not notice the differences.
Very good. And allow yourself to connect with Smurfette. Connect with her energy now. And notice what happens as you do this. What happens next? What
More
messages?
for whatever reason, I don't see it, but it's like I know that when I approach this visual of Smurfette and almost disintegrate into it, flowers, more flowers are budded and just like pop. Not only do they burst out, but it's like they grew from, you just saw grass, and then all of a sudden a whole stem and then a whole flower bud all over the place. And then I'm actually in like her space. So it's the real Smurfette, and she's welcoming and she's like almost chastising, saying, "Hey, about time you got in here. I've been calling you for a while. What took you so long?" And therefore, I'm kind of realizing there really is a real Smurfette. And I don't know, there's this whole sense of self, of confidence, of assuredness.
Very good. And you mentioned that she's been waiting for you. So connect with her now and see what messages she has for you today. And as you connect with her, how do you feel? Tune into all your emotions and your thoughts. And how do you feel?
I feel, I feel as though I am a mentee or student, and I'm awaiting for her to share her knowledge as I'm an eager student. And I feel as though this is about girl power, feminine energy.
Very good. Tell me more. See what happens next. Tell me more.
There's some chocolate chip cookies that came from somewhere with some tea, and I feel as though it was one of the guys who brought it. And she's trying to relay how she's able to get them to do this. And she's talking about how she has the ear of Papa Smurf, but I still don't know how
Mhm.
she's got into that position, only that she has arrived at that position.
Mhm. Now, allow yourself to enjoy the treats over. Can you tell me what does it taste like?
Chocolate chip, Nice, warm, not too soft, not too crunchy. Still warm because the chocolate melts a little bit on my fingers. So I have to get a napkin. And the tea is it's not sweetened, but it's warm to the perfect temperature where you don't have to blow on it, but it's not cool. And I guess sweetened enough and a nice, like, non-bitter type of tea. So maybe like a chamomile, something soothing, relaxing.
Very good. So she is telling you how she got there. So wooing you how she got there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna before we actually do this, can you describe what does Miss Smurfette look like? Can you describe her appearance?
She wears a white cone-like hat,
Mm-hmm,
and it has a nice yellow flower attached to it,
mm-hmm,
and she has nice long lashes and a white dress, which is conical as well, triangular like. And of course, she's blue. And yes, she's wearing some white high heels.
very good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Miss Smurfette take you on a journey today, and she's gonna show you where it all started for her as she came into her feminine power. So, with each breath you take, allow her to take your hand and guide you to this new scene and be there now. Allow everything to settle in clearly. Can you describe what is happening? What is she showing you today?
We ended up in the forest by a body of water, kind of rapidly moving, maybe a river, creek, something like that. And I feel as though one of the male Smurfs had a mishap with the water, like he was drowning. And she had the knowledge to do CPR because water had filled his lungs and he wasn't breathing. But the guys were able to pull him out of the water, but she had the knowledge of what to do once he was out of the water by doing the CPR and getting the water out of the lungs. And then he had recovered.
Very good. And see what happens next. Let's continue this journey, seeing her story unfold into her divine feminine power. See what happens next.
Days later, the entire village celebrates and essentially has a party, and she's the honoree, and they are truly celebrating what it was that she did that day. And the guy whose life she saved is really showing appreciation, giving her a gift. They have balloons, they have a parade, music, and streamers and confetti and hip hip hooray. You know, they're just really celebrating what she did.
Very good. Now you may take this time to connect with Smurfette and ask her any question you would like. Do this now and allow her to respond to you in the best way. Receive those insights now.
My question ended up being, how do you in their favor? Speaking of the population of all these guys. And her ultimate response was by being me.
And how does that make you feel? What do you understand with that?
Her being me is a feminine thing, and then them, the guys, are a masculine thing. And she feels, she vocalizes, she does as she pleases. There's no filter, there's no reference. no example that she's imitating. She is doing what feels natural to herself. And remarkable, the population accept and admires and appreciate all of her, which makes me then say this is a fairy tale. I do feel that is a fantastic liberation. Yeah, I feel there's freedom in that. How awesome would it be to just say, just do, just act, just, whatever comes to mind, and you're following your instincts, your heart, your internal guide, and then it to be received and appreciated and even loved and cherished. So I see it and I understand it and I would love for it, but I feel as though that's not truly attainable.
Mm-hmm. Very good, and that is very beautiful. You will notice that she has been saving a gift to give you this entire time. This gift will allow you to tap in and embody that. This
Yes.
gift will allow your energy to sync with those energies that you've just tapped into and are ready to embody. Receive this gift now.
I received a music box thing. It's a music box, which does have like a spring ballerina that moves as the music box is playing its tune. But what really stands out is the fact that it's a mirror. So when you open the lid, the music begins to play, the dancer begins to move, but primarily you see yourself in the mirror.
Very good. And how can you use these gifts moving forward in your life? This rose quartz stone and this music box. How can you use this moving forward? See this take place now.
I need to reflect on my reflection and saying to adopt the who you see is who you get, meaning when unfiltered, there really is a good person that others will love.
Mhm. And what about for the rose quartz?
I still think that that's a part of the theme as well because rose quartz is about or is associated with the heart chakra. And really, that aligns with what Source really wants, what Jesus talked about, what Jesus tried to display and convince that love does conquer all. And when we open up ourselves to love, the world is a better place. Each individual doing their part just makes the communities in a more loving place. If you get all the communities to be in a loving place, then you can get the states in a loving place, and then, so forth and so forth with that. But just think our strife, our daily days, the challenges that we experience can be so much better if we loved each other. However, that's not the reality. It's much more of what we should be striving for. And I guess that dichotomy of the reality versus what should be is very disheartening, very sad. It's like, I want to be so positive. I want to be so filled with love, so filled with light. And the butterflies from the rose quartz are saying all parts of the world needs that same thing, no matter. I mean, hell, if you're blue like Smurfs or if you're green like, I don't know, alligators, aliens, whatever, there really is that commonality, or should be that commonality. Some people are just, or some things are just, anxiety driven or, the lower frequencies, I guess we would say. But then, that's a big piece. And my gut kind of says, well, I can't control the world. I can go visit the world and I can go experience the world and encounter these people, these things. I mean, even more than ever, I've been really into observation of animals and how they are in their natural state and really trying to understand how they get along and what pisses them off and, how do they live? And really, sometimes the simplicity of things is just fantastic. It's like it doesn't have to be this hard.